Listen.
I know everybody popping. I know you and Culture on the Twitter popping champagne bottles. Act like y'all ain't never been here before. I know it's been a minute for y'all, boys. It's been some time. You know what I'm saying? It's been some time. Last time we saw y'all in this type of position, shit, we was both in high school. So it's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? Y'all boys ain't really, you know what I'm saying? I get it. But what I will tell y'all boys is, series ain't won in one game. That's all I can say. So this same jubilation, I want that same. I just want everybody to keep it the same when it go the other way. When it goes the other way, I want the same. I want the same hope. I want pom poms up. I want them shit. Yeah, I want them shit shaking and baking. Yeah, all that. I want it.
see, what y'all don't understand, y'all. See, we got a bit of Lakers fan right here, right? We got a bit of Lakers fan because his squad got the boot, so he gotta hate on my squad. See, T's type of brother. He don't want to see me to be happy. He want me to be right there with him. But I'm not.
Nah, I just don't like the Spurs.
That's all right. And that's
if you rooted for any other team, I probably wouldn't care. I more than likely probably could give a shit less. But you root for the Spurs, and also I mean it's been pretty clear and obvious what Adam Silver ain't got no shame in his game. He already let it be known. He already let the league. He already let everybody know. Look, hell, Wemby can throw bowls, and nothing's gonna happen. Not a fine, not a nothing. We may eject him for the game, maybe because it just looked bad. But he won't have a nary suspension come his way. You know what he also can do? He can run through the lane like Marshawn Lynch, lower the shoulder and all. He's 7'5". He don't even naturally sit that low when he's sitting in a chair. But you know what? You know what he can do. You know what he can do. He can goddamn. He can lower that thing to a 6'3" Hooper and go right through his chest. No call. Common foul. Not only are we not going to even review this, it's a common foul. It's a common foul, brother. It's a common.
That was a trip.
Man, look. If we not, all I'm gonna say is if we not gonna be honest about that whistle that the Spurs getting, then I mean, by all means, let's just call it what it is. Because I'm not gonna sit here and lie to the people. Now the boy hooped out. I can't discredit 40 and 20 something. I can't do that.
There we go.
The boy hooped out. But I'd be lying if I said I felt like we all getting to play the same game. And I said that in the Minnesota series. I said they're not going to let us play the same game. The same game cannot be played with Wemby that gets played with other bigs.
Look.
How is it that the 7'5" alien cannot get touched? You can't put a hand on his back. Hey man,
this is his league. He's the president.
Oh, for sure. As long as we all acknowledging that he's getting a whistle geared towards him, then we all cool. And like if we all on the same page with that, then by all means, brother. Shit,
Let's take away. Let's just take
or
away.
veto whatever the hell that shit means.
No, we're not even that. Let's take away your missed calls that you saw, Tease. But you gotta love Wemby's game one. Come on, Tease.
Brother, I already said it. I already said I can't discredit.
We gotta break it down some more, damn it.
All right, we'll break it down. Yeah, you break it down. Go ahead and run the point. It's your squad.
All right, bet. Nah, this is a game that you gotta marvel the fact that Wemby is a generational player, man. And this is getting scary, bro. For him to be this battle tested and a hostile OKC crowd, when we went into OT, the game was slipping away from us, bro. The game was slipping away. But what this crazy 7'5" alien do? Logo 3. A logo 3.
Now the 3 ball, I must admit, for sure, cold. I can't. The one thing I admire about Wemby is definitely his mentality, because he carries the mentality of all the guys that we revered growing up. like a Jordan, like a Kobe. You know what I'm saying? He carries that type of dog level mentality. Now I gotta be honest. A lot of these points, he's 7'5". So so. What am I really marveling? Am I marveling the fact that that what he's doing is some crazy, is something so crazy I've never seen before, or am I marveling the fact that he's 7'5"?
It's a little bit. You gotta say both. We never seen the guy with his height move the way he moved. We haven't seen this.
But it's all predicated upon his height. Like, if I ask you right now, what do you think? Do you think Wemby's skill is like that? If you think Wemby's skill set at 6'10" would be generational?
6'10". I mean, basically, he moves just like a oversized Kevin Durant. That's all it is. Same mindset, same move, same form where to take the jumper. You know, that's all it is. Just another Kevin Durant. If you put Wemby at 6'10", it's just another Kevin Durant. Am I lying?
See that no, you be correct. You be correct. I just don't think that's. I can match up with that. See, this shit right here, I can't. There ain't no matchup for it. So the difference between say what?
No, and speaking of matchups,
I mean,
Thunder's coach, I appreciate you.
I'm not knocking them. I'm not knocking the approach he took, because early on in that game and for a good chunk of it, Caruso did what he was supposed to do against Wemby. But at the end of the day, there are some aspects of Wemby's game you're just not gonna be able to stop. Like when they throw the lob up, like there's no defense for that anyway. Like the only way you can stop Wemby from getting any of these things is you keep him out of the paint in general. And then from that point, you just need to make him take anything from that mid post. You would have to make him work from there. But unless you're gonna do that, there's nothing you can really do about the lobs he catches. Like there's my whole thing is that if we go through and look at these points, I'm like some of it is very much him just being skilled. A lot of this is just him being 7'5". You're just not gonna convince me this is just. Like it's generational because of the height. It's not generational to me because of the skill. The skill. What is generational though is that 3-ball. His the 3-ball and his touch around the rim. Because a lot of guys typically at that size ain't gonna be able to shoot the ball that well anyway. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if I'm breaking this one down. The only way OKC is gonna be able to make any headway is you're gonna have to attack the paint. If you ain't never gonna attack it, if you're always gonna settle for jumpers, then it's gonna be the same thing that happened in Minnesota. You're gonna wear down eventually. There is no way to be able to compete if you're never getting to the rim or never attacking it. You know what I'm saying? So. Until OKC decides that, hey, we gotta go force the issue. Until Chet decides that I'm gonna play within the paint, I'm gonna play strong. Then I don't really see it being an answer for it. Now, what I will say is that there is a game 2 on Wednesday, and I do believe that we probably get a different game plan from OKC.
It is
in this one.
And it's not gonna be a sweep. It's not. This is a preview of what is going to be a Game 7. This is going to be a Game 7 series. It's going to be a 7-game series going on here. But last night was for sure game of the year. I cannot recall a game that was just so physical, and just both teams want to win. Both teams want to get a dub so bad. And the Thunder had it. That first goal in overtime, they had it. They don't go away.
That was their best chance to get it.
Yeah, OKC, they do not go. That's the team, they will not go away. No matter how comfortable you think the lead is. I think the farthest we led throughout the game was, 10 points, 13 points, something like that. Had a good margin lead, comfortable lead, and they say no 30 to a minute later, they're back in it. That's good coaching. That's good. That's good chemistry. That's good team chemistry. The Thunder is a good team.
Yeah, so, absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing. I mean, but really the biggest thing, the biggest story in all of this is that De'Aaron Fox didn't play, and we found this out maybe 15 minutes prior to tip off, and once you factor that in terms of what other shots that San Antonio would be able to create, the amount of turnovers that probably wouldn't happen if De'Aaron Fox is on the floor. That creates a whole other matchup issue, and for the most part, the supplementary pieces around Wemby continue to at least stay level. Like Devin Vassell he's probably made himself he's made a great name for himself here in these playoffs. Keldon Johnson had a nice night in that game as well. And then you just continue to see the growth out of Dylan Harper each and every game. It doesn't look like a rookie. There were a few moments in times where he started to look a bit young, having to get those starting minutes and having to work against that defense. But even still, he still has that ability to get to the rim at will, and his strength is probably his biggest asset that I've seen from him thus far. Is just that he's able to body up on just pretty much any defender, and the guys that are his size typically cannot keep him from moving them out of the way, and that's probably been the most impressive feat of his game. Is that like if he decides to get downhill, it really ain't. There hasn't been a matchup that I don't feel like he's not gonna win to this point. Again, for Wemby, it's the level of focus that he showed as that game continued to progress, because I think we had never seen him play this many minutes. He played 50 minutes in that game. Mm-hmm. We hadn't seen him play this amount of minutes at all. But we've seen him more in the postseason. But just the fact that as it went to overtime and as it went to a double OT, he had an answer for every single OKC run that they were trying to make. He's the great eraser, bro. From what he can do on the defensive end and completely take away a team's will to even want to attack the rim, to what he's able to do in terms of applying pressure on the rim on the other end. Right now, this is. Remember, we're ranking players, bro. I mean, he's climbing up the ranks, brother, and he's probably no worse than. He's probably no worse than the second best player in the world right now. If we're just saying that we want to wait to give it to him, if we're just saying we just want to wait to give it to him. In that game last night, he was the best player on the floor. He really, bar none, hands down, the best player on the floor that night.
Well, you could tell he plays the game with emotion. You can tell he's pissed off not getting the MVP. And
I don't know why he wasn't about to get that. I don't know where that came from.
But you can tell. I mean, I guess
you can definitely tell.
Every player. I mean, I think not even just Wemby. I just every player that is playing at a high level, that's up there right now, that's in the talk or in the conversation. Of course, they're gonna feel like, hey, I deserve MVP. Hey, I want it. I'm pretty sure every year, Dak Prescott, when he has a decent go at it in his season or whatever, he feel like, hey, I deserve MVP over Patrick Mahomes. Or back in the day, Patrick Ewing probably feel like he deserved a MVP over Jordan or something like that. It's one of those things where it just depends. I think Shea. I think they got. Me personally, me being a Spurs fan, I think they got it right with Shea. But there's all. I think he can hold on to that trophy not too long. Don't get too cozy with that trophy, because that trophy gonna come back to center. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. Is this come today? It's gonna come to center.
Oh yeah, I mean that's already written. I mean that's probably next year. I mean if I had to bet on what this is Shea's last year winning the MVP, I don't think he can get another. But the only way he can continue to get another one, he would have to win this series. He would have to win this series and go win the finals to me to be able to keep his name in that echelon, because I think you're gonna have to make it without a doubt that you're the best on the floor, and the only way to do that is by winning this series. And so, how you come out in game two is gonna be the big question. what I will say, and I wonder was this going to happen. I wondered, would Mitch Johnson use what JJ Redick employed against SGA, and see and you know, because I didn't think you had to. I thought that with the caliber of defenders that you had and the team defense that you guys already play, I didn't really think that y'all had to employ sending doubles. But we saw that employed by Mitch Johnson in the second round against Anthony Edwards. Continue blitzing him at the top of the key, get the ball out of his hands, and force everybody else to be able to run the offense. Now, obviously, J-Dub came back last night, and he had a solid performance in his first game back. And Casey Watts also had some moments. But you know, the biggest thing that I think everybody started to figure out was that, well, with J-Dub back, AJ Mitchell, who he was probably the best player on the OKC Thunder during that Lakers series. He only took 5 shots. Maybe he only took 5 shots last night. Jared McCain only took 6. The issue is when you're working back in a guy like a J-Dub who is going to take a majority of those shots that those guys were getting. And now it does play into, all right, what type of rhythm can these guys get in? And the thing that we saw out of them in that previous round, okay, you won't get nearly the volume of the shot. So I think for OKC, it's going to be figuring out how to implementing J-Dub back and trying to maintain what it was that you got from those supplementary guys like a McCain, like a AJ Mitchell. And I think that's going to be hard to do on the fly. Whereas I look at you guys and I look at a team that's played without its stars and multiple times throughout this playoff run. You've played games without De'Aaron Fox. You played games without Wemby. So you've gotten these guys, and like we said this in the episode that wasn't able to come out the other day, that it's more of a libertarian style over there in San Antonio, where everyone has the green light to be able to go kill. And you see in moments like these where OKC is relying upon SGA to do something to help create the offense, to either or help initiate it, or what may have you. It starts to wear on you, because when the shots aren't falling, and SGA had a rough shooting night. He had a rough go at it. Having just won that MVP trophy. If there's gonna continue to be nights like that, then I don't think there's anything to worry about. I think that this series will be over in likely 5. If he can't play to that standard that he set for himself and be the guy that scored 30 points a night, be the guy that was, that dominant force offensively. If he can't be that, then this series won't be going very long.
Yeah, I mean, cause we're definitely locked in, man. Like I said earlier, we're battle tested. So even though we lack the experience, I think we just don't get. I honestly, excuse my French, I think we just don't give a damn about that. I don't think we give a damn about the experience. We want to go out there and play. We're going to go out there and play our ball. Spurs ball.
No, thanks. Absolutely. Now, with that being said, I do think, and as much as I do want to give credit to everybody that played, the biggest difference here is that there is a 7'5" person down there in the lane. It sounds like hate, but the difference between how you guys play when Cornette has to be the guy on the court, between when Wemby's on the court, and not only that, it's not even like how it looks, it's how the numbers bear out. Like, there was a point in time last night where they showed the numbers of the field goal attempts and makes when Wemby's on the court compared to when he's off. They teams are shooting around 20% when he's on the court. It jumps up to around 40, nearing 50% when he's off. As much as I do want to give credit to and those guys have to make tremendous jumps. The biggest difference here is this is probably the best defensive player it's going to end up being the best defensive player of all time, merely because his mere presence deters teams from even going into the lane. And when you take away an entire section of the court, like we talk about locking down corners in football and truly locking down an entire side of the game, entire side of the field, and forcing the team to play with 2/3 of it for the rest of the game. When you take away the interior of the basketball court and that means you're taking away layups, floaters, anything on the interior that is a high percentage shot. When that's completely taken away and that's erased, and you're relying on outside shooting, it's going to be a long night because you're going to have to. Because how many nights do you think you're going to be able to shoot 40+% from three? Not likely. The likelihood is you're going to be shooting around 30-something%, probably around like 35, probably around like what? Because what did they shoot last night? They shot a whopping. It had to
be bad because there was a lot of boards. There's a lot of damn boards on both teams.
I mean, he ended up with 24 boards, so yeah, he wasn't shooting great. You shot 38% from three, so that's a solid night. But a lot of that came from Alex Caruso.
Yeah.
So
legacy game last night. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So so for OKC, it's figuring out, hey, if we're gonna continue to get open looks, y'all got to knock these things down. These shots are going to have to fall, or we're going to have to just, we're going to have to attack. We're going to have to try to attack the rim. And if we can't be successful at that, then that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
That's pretty much that on that. So I guess we can talk about the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
I guess. It's kind of hard to go from that game that we got last night, because that is probably the greatest game one I've ever seen play. Like, that had the intensity level of a game 7. You felt the urgency on the court. Nothing about that was light, and that felt like everybody really, really wanted to get that game, and nobody was letting that one go. Then we look over at the New York Knicks and Cleveland Cavaliers series. This is a series that, I know we didn't expect to happen, because we who the hell had the Cleveland Cavaliers getting out of the Detroit Pistons series? And not only that, having a game 7 where James Harden is a no-show, the same James Harden that he's been for the entirety of his career, and you still were able to get out of that series. Do you have any thoughts?
I'm first for one. Just going back to Detroit, man. I hate, you know this. I hate looking stupid, and I felt so stupid because I had Detroit going to the finals. But bro, like you said, yesterday, man. When Tobias Harris is your second option, your number 2, you ain't gonna have much success, man. And no, I got Tobias Harris, bro. You're in the NBA, you here, you there, that's your profession, cool. But it's just they need to get better guys to surround Cade Cunningham. Cade can't do this all by himself, man. Where's the support at for my boy? Where's the support at?
I made this suggestion yesterday. Yesterday. Who Detroit should be trying to go get is Austin Reeves. That makes the most sense to me. The issue is they don't have anything that I would want over there to bring back that would be comparable. Because if you were to say, like, all right, we're gonna, I don't know if this even works. I'm not a trade guru, but let's say Jalen Duren. I'm like, no. I look you straight in your face and say, no.
DeAndre Ayton. You already got a DeAndre Ayton.
Well, you're right. So I got one big that won't do anything for me. What I don't need another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need another one in the mix at all. And that's even to talk about him as well. Like, Jalen Duren and this playoff run in general was nowhere to be found. He was nowhere close to the guy that they saw in the regular season, and that was the reason. That's the reason why you're sitting at home right now, because there was no second option next to Cade Cunningham. I thought Karis LeVert gave them good minutes at times. Duncan Robinson is what he is. I think relying on that to be the next best option as a scorer is wasn't.
No bueno.
It just wasn't likely, bro. It just wasn't likely. But I remember I told you months ago I just didn't like what this team was built with, and didn't think that it would be able to net them a big return in the playoffs. Because either way, I had New York coming out. this is obviously up until the Boston Celtics got Jason Tatum back, because then once Tatum came back, I honestly had to go with Boston, because I mean they, proven, tried and true. Like I was gonna roll with them, but New York was always the team that I had on my mind about. This would be their push. This was their best shot at it, and I mean to give credit to those guys, they've been magnificent. They've been since that game 2 of their series against Atlanta, they've been the best offensive team in the playoffs. Now, I wonder how they come out in a game where they've been off for quite some time, because that's kind of the same thing that you kind of look at with even the OKC series as well. Like, how will you look that first game back after a long layoff? That's going to be the question mark, but if I'm being completely honest, I just love the matchup problems they present. Like, while Cleveland has an interior presence with Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, I think Karl Anthony Towns, if he so chooses to be a big and go and get down in the paint and go to work, then I think New York probably has.
And then you got Mitch Johnson as well. I mean, not Mitch Johnson, Mitch Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson, yeah. I mean, and the only knock on him is that he can't make a free throw. That's his only knock. If Mitchell Robinson can shoot 70% from the free throw line, by God, he'd be an all-star. Like, right. So I mean, like I said, I trust what New York is doing. I trust Jalen Brunson. I don't trust James Harden to show up for Donovan Mitchell. Yeah. That's what the issue's always gonna be for me. Like, dude, will he show up? I know a guy like Max Strus is gonna play physical. Is gonna play gritty. I don't know. And I feel like a lot of the history of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, that team is probably keeping me from wanting to really believe in them. But we said it on the episode that we couldn't drop. Knicks in 6. That was pretty much the consensus over here, that we had the Knicks winning this series, likely in 6 games. Yeah. That's pretty much.
Shout out New York. I think they deserve to get it back there, man. I mean, I don't think they've been in a while.
Well, I mean, they were in their last. I mean, they went to the conference finals last year.
No, I'm talking about finals. I mean, finals at 90s? 90s maybe.
Yeah, that would be.
I think the year Jordan was the year Jordan. It had to be the year Jordan retired. No,
I think they went. Did they? What is the last one? I think there's one in that. I think there's one in that run. What was the last? Man, hold on, man. Look, I'm about to ask AI right now, bro. On me, man. Hold on. When is the last time the New York Knicks went to the NBA Finals? Let's see what this say.
Talk to me, AI.
1999. Hey, guess who?
And we won.
Hey, man.
That was Timmy's rookie year.
Timmy's first, wasn't it?
Timmy's rookie? No. Either Timmy's rookie or second year. One or two.
When Timmy got drafted, was he drafted in 98 or 97? I thought he was drafted in 97.
97?
I think I don't know.
Oh, that's crazy. Damn, that's crazy. Because this would be third year. Stephon Castle second year. Hawks first. Man, that'd be something, bro. History repeats itself.
Timmy was drafted. Yeah, he was drafted in 97. Yep.
97? Okay.
Yep.
Good class there.
97. They alright. They ain't got nothing on 96.
Of course.
Yeah.
Shame on you, Hornets.
Yeah.
Hornets, shame on y'all, man.
Ain't no shame, bro. They knew where to send it. They would have had that. They wouldn't know what to do with it. Wouldn't know what to do with it.
Kobe's in.
And he didn't want to go there anyway.
He did.
So,
he did.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to be there anyway. Yeah. So I mean, do we got anything else with basketball that we want to hit before we move along?
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm running on fumes. If anything, just speaking on Charlotte, I know we talked on Bryce yesterday about his contract situation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the Carolina Panthers had per Joseph Person, and I don't think there's been any real confirmation to the reports in terms of within the team brass, but it was pretty much confirmed that they would not be extending Bryce Young at this current time or probably during the season, which I didn't really think that needed to be reported. Truth be told, I kind of thought that was all. I kind of thought we were all on the same page. Well, no, I just thought we were all on the same page that Bryce would have to prove himself this year. Like to this point, credit to Bryce and what he's done in terms of riding the ship of his NFL career, but nobody could have thought that the numbers he put up last year and what ended up happening was enough to be like, okay, let's lock into this for 5 more years. There was no way there's no way you really could have thought you really could have thought that. I mean, you talk about a guy that threw for 3,011 yards, 23 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Again, these are numbers that you would say that that's not a. You would call that a game manager. You see those numbers. For example, if Jalen Hurts put up those numbers, which he does on a yearly basis, but this neither here nor there. You would call that a game manager type of quarterback. You wouldn't call that a guy that's worthy of let's say $50 million, right? Like when you got Brock Purdy making $50+ million, you got Trevor Lawrence making $50+ million, Joe Burrow making in the 50s, Josh Allen in the 50s, Lamar Jackson in the 50s. Like the types of numbers that are being thrown out there for this guy, like where Bryce is, and we said it the other day, Bryce is in that Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold type of range, and then when you think about his career, kind of similar in the sense that he's really had to reshape the narrative of what was initially thought about him after his first couple of seasons. And so you've had one solidified season that I could deem as good. Everything else was your rookie year was bad for reasons that may be out of your control. But like we all agree that rookie year we all agree that we wouldn't use that against him moving forward. The second year started out rocky. Did right the ship towards the end there, but okay, for sure. The third year, you got us to the playoffs. You showed signs. You had big moments. You had the Atlanta Falcons game on the road. You had the Green Bay game, even though it wasn't a big statistical performance. You still had a solid game there. The Miami Dolphins game, which we talked about, saved our season. If not for that, then we're not even. I don't think we're even having this discussion at all. If not for that game, so there were plenty of moments that went well in Bryce Young's favor. But I think for him, he shouldn't want a contract right now. I mean, obviously for security reasons, you would want one, but for the fact of the matter that you can set the price for what they have to pay you. You can dictate what's to come down the pipeline. Like if you go out here and you go have a season where you throw for, let's say, 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, and the Panthers win 12 games compared to the 8 games you won last year. Mm-hmm. That probably has you at.
And keep in mind, we got the third hardest schedule going into this season.
Right, and we've looked at the schedule. Like there are plenty of opportunities here to show and improve. You got the Chicago Bears to open up the season. You got the Detroit Lions on the schedule. You got the Baltimore Ravens on the schedule. Plenty of opportunity here to be able to say, like, look, I'm a gamer. I'm a real live gamer. And mind you, in some of these games that we had last year that would have been deemed the tough games on our schedule, he did perform. So I mean, you're gonna get the perfect opportunity to go out there and show and prove that. You have T-Mac coming back in for his sophomore season. Jalen Coker, hopefully with a healthy season this year, looking to improve upon what he showed last year. You have Chris Brazzell out of the University of Tennessee, that shows signs, at least from an athletic profile, of a guy that can be somebody. And then none other than our very own Xavier Legette, that is in a very critical juncture of his career where it's do or die. It's sink or swim. There is no... You can't do anything but succeed this year if you want to have a career moving forward. There is literally no tomorrow. So I think with the amount of pressure that just I think with some of the guys that are in that room trying to get paid, because Coker's trying to get paid and X is trying to keep a career, there's just going to be a lot of guys in that room that I think are fighting for something. Fighting to be the best. And lack of a better words, we'll see if that culminates into a team, into an overall team goal being met. But I think there's plenty of opportunity here for Bryce Young to be able to stake his claim and make it be known that he's the franchise quarterback. But to me, even still, nothing more than $40 million is probably going to be on my brain in terms of Bryce Young in a contract. If I'm thinking about the max he could possibly get, it'd be around 30. If I'm thinking like what the Panthers probably want to give him, around 35 is what I think they want to give him.
Yeah.
So I mean, that pretty much is what it is. I mean, really, there really isn't much left. I mean, the WNBA is going on right now. But again, we're still early in that season. You know what I'm saying? All our Gamecock girls look great. Medina Okot looks great for the Atlanta Dream. Tahina Pow, you know what I'm saying? With the blicky from the corner, you know what I'm saying? They had a great game against the Aces over the weekend. Obviously, to go Asia Wilson, Alicia Gray, I don't know how many times we gotta say it. If y'all trying to get paid, you want to change your family life. Come on, holler at the governor. You know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, this has been
No, I'm telling you what. When your wake up call is our battle cry, bro. Because being back here in the country, back here where I play South Carolina, I'm hearing them Roosters, man, bro. I'm like, yeah, this is a sign I'm back home. Close us out, Teeks, man.
Hey, with that being said, I'm your host, Shanti Stewart. This is my co-host, A. Smith. We are the Jordan Dropper Sports Podcast, and we out.